I was raised by racists, and I want to talk about how deep the racism is behind closed doors. It was so bad that I would literally get physically punished for listening to music by people of color. I was told that I needed to keep the bloodline pure, and if I was caught dating a person of color, that they would immediately disown me. I remember being as young as 4 years old and being asked why I wasn't friends with the white kids in my school and being told that those are the people that I need to befriend. Thankfully, I went no contact and I don't have to deal with their hateful beliefs anymore, but I want you to know that change is possible and you don't have to believe everything that you were taught growing up.
Actual things that I have been told by fellow white people as a white person living in a Somalian area. Now, these sentences are things you have never heard in your life, I can guarantee you, because it's crazy, the things that I am told. Starting off strong, the reason why you're not making a lot of money on DoorDash and not getting as much orders is because the Somalian gangs are ganging up and DoorDashing at the same time so that the white people can't DoorDash. That sentence I have heard so many times. Like, wait, how did we even come to this conclusion? How did you... What? What? And as a DoorDasher, when I'm DoorDashing, there's really not a lot of Somalian DoorDashers. Like, it's a pretty diverse group of people, and it's mostly college kids, especially because I live near a college. So it's like, where are you getting this from? The next one, that Somalians stink. Let me tell you, that stereotype is the most wrong stereotype I've ever heard in my life. The freaking DoorDash gangs are more convincing than that. If you have ever been in the vicinity of a Somalian person, you know they smell so good. Like, people are always talking about, like, ugh, bet you can smell them from a mile away. Yeah, because they smell great. It's weird because everyone in the world gets stinky, but I have never encountered a stinky Somalian person in my life. Ever. Not even once. I cannot name a single time that I have walked past a Somalian and it smelled bad. They always smell so good, and it's never like a boring scent. It's always something that's just like so unique and so just like, I could smell this for the rest of my life. I want an air freshener based off of whatever perfumes these Somalian people are using, because oh my god, it's so good. And the men too, there is no other men in the world that smell good, but Somalian men smell so good. Every single time that a Somalian man walks past me, I'm like, see, that sounds so creepy, but like, I don't know where they're getting their products, but they smell so good. And the stereotype that they stink just makes me mad, because like, no.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. As you know, I'm your host and present hygienic stories. Now, white people are coming out and confessing how their fellow white people are so racist. And you'll ask yourself, what does it really take for a white person to come out and complain about another white person for being racist? Probably, you'll know the answer. They never cited about maybe something that was said about black people. And in this video, I think those are the perfect case scenario that you're going to see. You're going to see a couple of people quarreling with their parents, some quarreling with their siblings in regards to some issues or how they viewed black people. But in the end of the day, this all exposes something, the rot that has been happening deep down in the white societies. But at the end of the day, this is something that doesn't surprise black people, because now we are seeing how racism is embedded in the United States to the extent that we are seeing white people calling out their own and sharing the experiences, how they ever interacted with some white people who look like them, but were so much mean to black people, but were so much racist to black people, to the extent that they had to come out and, share with people. Brothers and sisters, this is a phenomenon that mostly people have always tried to deny, because some people will always say that, racism ended a long time ago. It's something that it is not there. Why would you bring up all these topics? Brothers and sisters, these are things that happen These are things that happen on the daily lives of black people. And trust me when I say daily lives, because we are seeing white people who are tired with people who look like them, who are racist towards black people, are now coming out and saying and confessing and sharing their dramatic experiences and how they felt when they were in all those situations. Brothers and sisters, I want us to watch this video, and then I'll be back. I'll be sharing my 2 cents in regards to this. And if you're watching me for the first time, I'm asking you to please subscribe to the channel, join the membership, and really get to what I can offer you. And for those who are always coming back, watching my videos, man, I'm really, really grateful for the support that you all gave me. For those who are subscribing, commenting, man, I'm really, really grateful again for the support that you all gave me. Until then, let's dive into it. I'll be back.
That's like, no, they do not. Like, you clearly have never encountered a Somalian person. The next one, that all the Somalian churches are, there's a few theories about these Somalian churches, okay? First one is that they're all sex trafficking rings. Churches in general tend to be sex trafficking rings sometimes, but just because it's Somalian people in these churches does not mean that they're sex trafficking rings. I don't know where you guys came up with that, because that's just not right. That's just completely wrong. Sorry, someone was walking past. Second Somali church theory that I have heard countless times. Okay. So, in Minnesota, there's been a few different times where they've played like Somalian prayer music or whatever it is that they're doing. And every single time, the white people in the area act like they're being cursed. They're like, oh my god, they're cursing us. Oh my god, they're doing some sort of ritual. Oh my god, we're all gonna die. As if their church bells every hour isn't the exact same thing. Like, what are you even, why do you assume that they're cursing us? Where are you getting this from? And it always makes me so mad too when they're like, well, this is a Christian country. No, it's not. Where did you come up with that? At 0 point ever has America ever been a Christian country. Never in all of history has America been deemed a Christian country. Where are you getting this? Like, all these people too are so like, the amendments. What's the very first amendment? Do you know that amendment? Or do you only know about the guns? Like, what? Freedom of speech, right to bear arms. But when the very, very first amendment shows up, you're just like, they're cursing us. I don't know what you're, like, what is your problem? And like, I have a local crime map that tracks crime too, and people are always like, the Somalians are doing all this sketchy stuff. My local crime map, like, I think there's only been like 2 instances where there has ever been a Somalian person that's doing the crimes. And I get so many crimes a day. I live in a rough area, okay? It's not only Somalians that live here, but it's this specific neighborhood is mostly Somalians. And this specific neighborhood, I don't really have to worry about. And like, the people that are even in the areas that are doing all of these things are literally never Somalian people. And it's just like, again, everyone commits crimes. All kinds of people commit crimes. But Somalians don't commit a lot of crimes. Like, it's just all of these weird freaking, like, theories that these people are coming up with. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. And it's just like, okay, I'm embarrassed for you. I'm getting secondhand embarrassment because of what are you on about? Like, it's, I don't know. Especially coming from a small town with literally a population of like 1,600 people, and everyone there is white. It's like, it's so closed off there that I could tell you by name the only like 3 black people in the entire town, because there's just like, I can't name a single Somalian person in that town. I don't think there is a Somalian person in that town, and it's basically just all white people. And it's like, they're so closed off. It's interesting seeing that it's a totally different world, and the only information that they get is on the internet. Like, they don't experience anything for themselves. Like, it's a completely different world that they're living in. And I didn't realize that until I moved to the city. Like, it's not the same. It's a totally different world. And like, it was a literal culture shock coming to a city with people that weren't just closed off, white, hateful people. Like, I'm not being harassed every day. And in that small town where I knew everyone else being harassed every day, no one harasses me here. My little timid white girl self in this big scary apartment building, no one is harassing me. I don't know where you're getting this. Like, why? You don't need to feel in danger because there's a Somalian person around you. Like, you don't need to be fearing for your life. You don't need to be thinking that you're gonna get cursed. You don't need to be thinking that you're gonna get sex trafficked. Like, don't get me wrong, it's always good to have your survival instincts and be cautious of everyone no matter what. But like, putting all of that on one, like being more afraid of one race than the other is just like, okay, where are you getting this? Why is this your whole situation here? What are you even... Sorry this video is so long. I'm just going on and on and on because... What? What is your problem? What is going on?
I've never felt unsafe in black spaces. This is how we know reverse racism is a lie. I went to college on Long Island, and I lived in Hempstead, New York. Very black town. I used to go to Caribbean night at my local bar. Never had a problem. Never felt unsafe. I was just at a barbecue joint in Harlem the other week with a group of white girlfriends, lily white girls. We felt completely welcome, delightful. Had a great meal, super fun time. My boyfriend and I accidentally wandered into a hookah lounge one day. We were just looking for a burger. It was kind of late. It was like 10 o'clock. And we were like, oh, that place is open. Let's go in there. We go in, the place is empty. We were like, oh gosh, are you guys closing soon? The bartender was like, oh no, like we don't get busy till like 11 or 12 at night. It's a black hookah lounge. Completely black staff. They took care of us. We had a fucking great time. Great burger, great service, laughs, fun music. Never once did anybody give me a stink eye or a dirty look or make me feel like I didn't belong in those spaces. Never once was I concerned for my safety. But I was on the national tour of a children's show called The Olympic Spirit. And this show was about Jesse Owens being in the Olympics, who of course was a black athlete. So we had a black actor in the cast portraying Jesse Owens. And we toured the Deep South, baby. I'm talking about Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi. And it was a bus and truck tour. It wasn't fancy Broadway stuff. We played schools. So one night our van pulls into this local rest stop. It was like Pete's Chicken. And it had a gas station, which we needed gas. And Jamal and I walk into Pete's Chicken to get a little snack and to use the restroom because we were on the road. And when I tell you, every white face in that place whipped around and looked at us when we walked in together. Now, we weren't together. We were just two friends, colleagues. But he was black and I was white. And I felt the hairs stand up on the back of my neck. And I know he felt it too, because I looked over at him and I was like, this feels off. This feels weird. What's happening? And he goes, yep, let's go. I don't want to get lynched here. So we left. We just turned around, boop, and walked right out. Got in our van and drove off because we felt unsafe in a white space. The only time in my life I have felt unsafe was in a white space because they identified me in proximity to a black man and they did not like it, and I felt it in my bones. That was a formative experience for me, and it's why I like to talk about Black history in these United States, because it's not ancient history. It is still very much a lie.
Man, I tell you what, nothing makes racist white people more pissed off than me, a white person, trying to educate about racism and trying to educate about what white privilege is and all these things. And it's so funny because these same people will argue with me till they are blue in the face about how they're not racist and we don't live in a racist institution and black and brown people have it so easy and racism doesn't exist anymore. But then they will turn around and say the most racist, ignorant, vile shit you've ever heard in your life. The disconnect is amazing. And this is why I make content like this, because it's so important. Because we do live in a racist institution, and we are all raised in racism as white people. This is simply a fact. And the crazy part about it is every one of us knows this. Even the ones who will sit there and fight with me to the death about it and act like it doesn't exist. Y'all know white people are racist. Y'all know about the casual racism, the casual microaggressions that we are raised in, no matter where we live in this United States of America. And this is why I will never stop. I will never stop trying to educate as a white person about racism and how we need to learn. We need to evolve. We need to do better. It's almost as if they feel like admitting to a racist institution or admitting to racism makes them this evil, terrible person. And so they would rather double down than to grow and be a good person. And that's so bad, because all that says to me is that you have a small mind and a cowardly soul. And I wish better for you than that, truly, because everything in your life will get better when you stop being so ignorant.
I did not know when I moved into the neighborhood that I live in now that there would be blatant racism that I would have to speak up about, or that so many people that live here would have a problem with me speaking up about it. But shortly after we moved in here, another lovely couple family moved in down the street from us, and they were not white, which to me was no big deal because I've always lived in diverse areas before. This was my first time living in a place that was predominantly white, but I didn't think that that necessarily meant that where I was moving would be open to racism in their neighborhood. Well, not long after they moved in, literally the U-Haul was still in their driveway. Our neighbor had come over to us while we were outside and made a comment about, there goes the neighborhood, and how the wrong kind of people are moving in now because the prices are low. I don't know what would make somebody think that they could say something like that to me, but I guess since we had just moved in, he didn't know us very well and didn't know that we were just not the kind of people to say that type of thing to. So flash forward a bit, and it comes to the point where I've heard enough comments, not just about race, but about people with disabilities, about people's sexuality, about people's gender. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something in our community Facebook group about it. I'm going to say that we as a community have to do better, and that if people in our community are experiencing targeting because of any of those reasons, to reach out, because I want to show them that there are good neighbors here and that they will be supported and that they will have friends here and do not have to feel like an outcast. Well, let me tell you, that did not go over well. First comment was from a white man telling me how he had never experienced anything like that in the 10 years that he's lived here. And I told him, of course, you have not experienced anything like this in the 10 years that you've lived here, because in the 10 years that you've lived here, you have been white the entire time. This was followed by a white woman responding, who I believe her actual name was Karen, but I could be wrong, responding to tell me that I should not be slandering anybody or name calling anybody. I'm sorry, but telling you you're white when you're white is not slander. Nor am I name calling anybody by saying, hey, let's not make racist comments about our neighbors. But as you can imagine, I got kicked out of the group real fast, and they told me to go post this on my own profile where nobody would see it. So here it is.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video. Again, I'm your host and presenter Generic Stories. Now, you know, sometimes it reaches a point when you cannot keep the rot. Like it really smells. It's really smelly to the extent that you cannot keep quiet. And I think some white folks have reached that stage to the extent that they are now seeing the truth. They're now seeing the truth and all the realities that, black people have always been trying to share, all those experiences that black people have been trying to share. And for the longest time, we are seeing for the first time in this generation, white people disagreeing with their parents, some white people disagreeing with their siblings because they said some things about black people that they did not agree. And that tells you that as time goes by, people are getting to learn history. People are getting to see the reality of the matter because now we have these people and they are now friends with black people. And then they're asking themselves, okay, my parents told me not to be friends with you because of A, B, C, and D. But now I'm not seeing that happening. So what's up? So when they get back, when they go back home and interact with their parents, what do they see? They see the same lie because they keep on feeding them with the same lie. And then they'll ask themselves, why is it that what my parents are telling me, I'm not seeing them with white people? And now when they overly talk negatively about black people, it forces them to stand up for black folks. It forces them to start questioning black folks. It forces them to, talk about all these things because at the end of the day, that's the truth and that's the reality of the matter. And that's just how it goes. So while I was watching all these videos, I was like, okay, these people have tolerated what their siblings, what their parents have been telling them about black people. And now they're saying that, you know what? Enough is enough. We are not doing this further. Enough is enough. It is high time we start to stand for black people because majority of the things when they try to compare what their parents told them about black people or what their siblings told them about black people and their own experiences on the ground out there interacting with black people, they're not seeing if it's the same. Well, in fact, it is the direct opposite of what their parents told them. And now they're left asking themselves question. Everyone has a moment of, questioning yourself. What am I doing? Is it really right? My parents might be wrong. And I think this also makes us question that not everything that our parents tells us, it is right. Sometimes they are biased. For example, I want to share my personal experience with this. See, I have a parent that was having a problem with another parent. So they told me not to interact with the kids of that parent. Yet we as kids, we're just good. Like we don't have a problem with each other. So I was asking myself, okay, I didn't have a problem with John. Why would that be a problem when my parent has a problem with John's parent? You see, same case scenario. And I'm trying to tell you that not all situations, not everything that your parents tells you it is right. I think you need a moment of reflection, and I think it's the same thing that is happening with this group of people, because they are saying that what they were being told about black people are lies, and they are seeing how the spirits of black people they are so free, they don't have a problem with them, and so they are asking themselves why. But why is it like we are being showed like black people are the problem here, while in reality black people are not the problem? In fact, all those racist things that they are saying about black people, it is not true, right? So, I really don't know what you all think, or say about this. I just want to know your opinion, right? Because these are things that happen. These are things that they happen on a daily basis, and we all know that they happen. And so, brothers and sisters, please let me know what you all think about this, right? As you know, I'm your host and presenter Generic Stories. But until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.